Hello. One of the problems that has become the foundation of every other problem in Nigeria is the war of narratives. Now, what exactly do I mean by this topic, the war of narratives? You see, when we had our independence, we erroneously concluded that the Southern Protectorate should be referred to as the southern part of Nigeria, and the Northern Protectorate should be referred to as the northern part of Nigeria. The Southern Protectorate was just a mere geographical location, whereas and the same goes for the the Northern Protectorate. Now, Lord Lugard amalgamated these two protectorates for purely administrative convenience. And for some reason, because the North already had a system of administration that cuts across the northern part of Nigeria, felt, okay, as for the South, we have the Igbos doing their thing, we have the Yorubas doing their thing, we have the Shekiris doing their thing, the Edos doing their thing. So the Europeans were not in Nigeria then in the business of trying to restructure our administrative system. Well, since the North already had an administrative system that cuts across a larger area than the Southern Protectorate, well, let's work with them and somehow, give them like a deputy colonial masters. Until today, that's what's happening. But then, the point I'm trying to make in this video is this. We have changed a lot of narratives, and we have refused to solve certain narratives that have become the bane of other problems that Nigerians are battling through today. When we moved Abuja away from Lagos and said, let us locate it in the central part of Nigeria, so that according then the argument from the North was that, sorry, please, when I use North and South, it's not as if I'm trying to, provide dichotomies for argument and quarrel and division. No, just trying to make an illustration that will enable us pinpoint our problems. When they said they should move Lagos away from, when they said they should move the capital away from Lagos to Abuja, citing that the capital should be central so that the rest of Nigeria can have access to the political and economic hub of Nigeria. It was lauded, it was praised, it was a good idea. So they moved the capital to the center part of Nigeria. Central part of Nigeria. So if Abuja is the central part of Nigeria, we should be naturally the dichotomy of North and South. Why then do we still refer to places such as Kogi as North, Taraba as North? Every common sense will tell you that if you have an equator, then every other thing below the equator is South, any other thing above the equator is North. So where I'm going out with this narrative, I'm trying to build an idea. When the North says they are more populated than the South, my question is this: where exactly is North? The North they are referring to, does it include Kogi State? Does it include Benue State? Does it include Taraba State? Does it include states that are naturally under the center part of Nigeria, which naturally should be referred to as southern part of Nigeria? I was talking to a friend and he said the North is more populated than the South, and therefore they should continuously have the political advantage when it comes to voting, when it comes to election. That's not true. These are narratives that have been used to create that type of political conscious subservience in the South. That's anytime we begin to make political permutations, we begin to feel that as a Southerner, it will be difficult for you to win an election without considering the help from the North. That's not true. That is absolutely not true. This is why they are telling you that Peter Obi did not win the election. But that's not true. The North does not have the type of population they use to to blackmail the South. They don't have it. I asked my friend yesterday, I said, if the North has that much population than the South, that gives them that political edge when it comes to elections, how come do you subscribe to underage voting? How come do you subscribe to bringing people outside the country to come and augment whatever votes you have in Nigeria? How come? Why? Why do you need to do that? If you already have the population, you just walk into the election, use your mighty population to win everything you want to win. But that's not true. Let me tell you, the coming of Peter Obi has exposed some of these narratives. Because if you look at what the cabals in the North are doing, they will always give, because they know that the part of the North they refer to North as are really not North. They are just narratives that they want to sustain. That's why you see they give, when they want to give a chairman of Northern Governors Forum, watch, it is always governor of Benue State, governor of Plateau State, or governor of Taraba State. Because they need to sustain the narrative that this part of Nigeria, which ordinarily should be referred to as southern part of Nigeria, needs to feel that they are North. That's why they give them Northern Governors, Chairman Northern Governors Forum. At no point in time do you see that they give this Chairman of Northern Governors Forum to Bauchi, to Kebbi, to Kano, to Kaduna. It's always Benue, Taraba, and Plateau State. That's to give them the idea that we are still part of the North. So that whenever elections come and they whip up the sentiment that it is between North and South, this part of Nigeria that ordinarily should vote alongside, if it's going to be between North and South, this part of Nigeria who ordinarily should vote along North and South will think that they are North. Well, there are so many things I want to talk about this line of thought, but it's going to take longer than necessary. But there's a principle that I will make my video not be above 10 minutes. But this population thing that you're talking about, Evie Edna sang some time ago that in the South, 1 kilometer meets another language. You go, 1 kilometer meets another language. Come, say. So how do you say a place where you travel, every kilometer you meet people, every kilometer you meet cities? How do you say a place that, like in Delta States, for instance, you have about 6 to 7 cosmopolitan? You have Ugele, you have Sapele, you have Agbo, you have Asaba, you have Wari, you have Ubiaroko, you have Abraka. These are cosmopolitans. And then you say this place with so many, these states with so many cosmopolitans is less populated than state with just one cosmopolitan. It makes no sense to me. It's people that, look, it is the development of people and structures that creates cosmopolitan cities. So when you say one state that has many cities is less populated than state with only one city or one settlement, it makes me wonder. You are traveling from Bauchi to Borno State. You have to go through Yobe. You have to go through Yobe. One state. There are times you travel for almost an hour. You will not see anybody. Yes, they have. See, do not confuse an expanse of land that it should automatically equate to people. That the fact that the North has very big land does not mean there are people in every place in the land. You be traveling almost an hour, you will not see a soul. Sometimes you will not even see another car going through. You might have to travel 5 or 10 minutes before one car passes you. And you say this place that's almost like a ghost town has more population than a place where you wake up born, you are traveling 1 hour, you keep seeing people, or women on top machine, children crossing you, and you say, look, if we must establish ourselves as a country, it's time we put our narratives straight. We must say what Nigeria is. We must tell ourselves what our population is. We must tell ourselves where truly is South, where truly is North. We must begin to tell ourselves the truth. We cannot build Nigeria on falsehood. We can't build Nigeria on lies. We can't build on these false narratives with the sole purpose of making a certain region of the country feel less powerful when it comes to political permutation. This is what all this is all about. The narrative from the North is to make the South feel that they must be dependent on the North for them to get any political relevance. This must stop. I have stayed in the North for 58 years and I know what I'm saying, that everything I'm saying is the truth. So when they tell you that Peter Obi cannot win because he will not get the support of the North, where is the North? Don't forget that Southerners are more itinerant, that we move. The population of the North you are talking about includes Southerners who have moved from the South to the North. Take Kano, for instance. The whole of Sabongeri is predominantly, which is a very, very large city, Sabongeri in Kano, which is a very, very large city, is predominantly people from the South. So when you begin to count the population of votes in the North, don't forget that it includes people from the South. In Plateau State, for instance, there's a place they call Apata. It's predominantly Southerners. So do not say that Southern politicians cannot have political relevance or political dominance or political favorable political permutation when it comes to winning elections. So it is this narrative they try to sell to you that Peter Obi only won in the East. That's not true. Peter Obi won everywhere, because the narratives that makes us Southerners look subservient and mentally dependent on relying on the North for political relevance has been broken. So we must begin to realign these narratives such that we are first Nigerians before we are our tribal champions. We must, in all honesty, try to do these things. Well, my name is Magnus Oraka, and I say please follow this page and share this post now.